I think we call it gi. It's basically kind of like a kung fu outfit. And yeah, you can actually purchase those at I got mine at the Korean Hapkido store. It's basically some sort of Korean martial arts. And yeah, it was pretty generic. That was the most complicated part of the costume. I did a Bleach costume. This show is also shown on YTV now. This is a sword I made for the Bleach costume. Basically went to Home Depot again, and I got this stuff called insulation foam. It's basically the same stuff inside your house walls, and it basically keeps us warm or whatever. And I looked up online on some cosplay websites about how to actually make something like this, and they didn't actually have the instructions on how to make this exact sword, but you could find general instructions of how to find what you generally want to make. And so I read about these guys who were using this kind of foam, and they were using this stuff called aerofoil. You buy this at a model airplane shop, try and make foam look like metal. And so you buy it, it comes in a roll, and you wrap it around, and then you take a hot iron and you wax it to the actual piece of foam so it sticks on. It actually looks pretty nice, and you can paint it, and it looks metallic when you're done. When I looked online, there's lots of ways to do this, right? And so I looked at the pros and cons of how to do each one, and I decided on this one. Basically, the wood ones were way too heavy. I didn't want to carry those around, but they were a lot more durable. The problem with this one is it can break in half. Like I could just snap it in half with one hand, and yeah, so I'm pretty careful with this. But another one, the one I actually really wanted to do at first was fiberglass. Yeah. But fiberglass is actually really dangerous to handle. And I read that anytime you burn your hand with it, you have to go to the hospital right away. So I actually didn't want to do it. But I read about like guys who did it online, and there's like pictures of them, even pictures of them who went to the hospital. I actually measured this to my own height. I basically took like measurements from the anime character in the anime, and I measured it from the sword in the anime, and I took that ratio and added it to my own height. The actual cutout of the styrofoam, there was 4 of them to begin with, and then one of them got tossed right away because I was learning how to like carve into the foam, and I screwed that up. And so I did it 3 more times and actually did it pretty well. And this was the best looking out of all of them. So I did the foil test on the other ones first to see how it was like, and then I screwed those up, and then I finally got to this one. So there's lots of revisions to it. I think the sword is probably the most expensive part of the costume. It was probably $80 just for the sword. And it's just not just for this sword, it's just because there were so many materials I actually had to buy for it, and there's like a whole bunch of materials you don't even see here because those are swords that I threw away.
We went down to Seattle, yeah, for SakuraCon. And that year it was Final Fantasy VI, so it seems like we were working down the chain. So, and then I went as Edgar, that's his name. Yeah, and he's one of the characters in that game. If I thought the Vincent Valentine costume was bulky and cumbersome, like that one was something else. Like he had like a full-on like armor kind of thing with flowing robes and like gauntlets and like shin guards and boots and all that jazz. But this time no weapon, luckily. With this belt, it was just 2 belts taped together and some gold fabric, and there's like some sort of plastic magnifying gem, and I painted a red background on it. So, and some of the paint's wearing off. Because you find a lot of characters, they have really wide collars over their cloaks, so a lot of it is actually cardboard inside to get that big collar kind of feeling. And then this one basically goes on just like that. So a lot of times, like figuring out how to even connect it to your body and have it staying there is a challenge in itself. That was the first year that I started going to sports consignment stores, because you find a lot of similarities between protective gear used in sports like football or hockey, padding or armor, Under Armour. You find a lot of similarities between that and articles of clothing that characters in anime and video games use. So luckily I found something that resembled what I was looking for. It was like a chest, shoulder, like a football kind of protector gear, and essentially just spray painted it, and the shoulder pads and the knee pads are here, like that. And it was free, the best thing. Like the day, consignment stores, right? Like after a certain time, if it doesn't sell, it's literally $0. So I went in, I saw it, and I grabbed it and I left. And it was probably the best day of my life, so yeah.